This week we've got Flex fighting Milwaukee, Mega Lumen flashlights,
Impact races, an M36 blower, and a really expensive screwdriver.
It's not that expensive.
Rob bought one.
This is your Power Tool Week in Review.
Today's episode is brought to you by
Skill, the tools to do the job,
technology to do it better, and Spyder Pro Power Tools.
Welcome back, Power Tool fans. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Rob, and this week we're starting with a screwdriver. But not just any screwdriver, potentially the king of all screwdrivers.
Good Lord.
Linus and his team of technophiles over at Linus Tech Tips have been working on a very special screwdriver for 3 years. And in the same week that it launched, it was also torn apart by Todd over at Project Farm as the tool gods intended. Now, LTT is one of YouTube's most popular tech channels, and they build a lot of PCs. So their natural tool of choice is going to be a good screwdriver. And 3 years ago, they teamed up with MegaPro, a tool company with an already established ratcheting screwdriver of their own, and they set off to produce the greatest ratcheting screwdriver of all time. They toiled over every single detail, fought with manufacturers, struggled with production quality control, but eventually made something pretty special. Linus details their epic journey to a hand tool greatness in a 30-minute long video, which kept me captivated the entire way through. I was so impressed with what they had done, I did order one of these $70 screwdrivers myself. Now, I won't see mine until mid-November, but Todd over at Project Farm already got his, and he threw it into his typical torture test, along with examples from the likes of Milwaukee, Gear Wrench, Snap-on, Vera, MegaPro, and even the legendary PB Swiss, which happens to be a favorite amongst our production crew. So after 3 years, how did the LTT screwdriver hold up? I don't want to spoil it for you. I just suggest that you watch Linus's video first and then Todd's. We'll of course link to both below.
You spent $70 on a screwdriver?
Come on, you carry around a $200 knife in your pocket at like all times.
Yeah, but my knife is a work of art and it's stabby.
Fair enough.
Getting back to power tools, Makita's cordless 1/4 sheet sander is finally here. Well, not here, but it's in New Zealand, and fortunately for us, so is Tools and Stuff. And last week he got his own. That is the Makita LXT 18-volt 1/4 sheet finishing sander, and Tools is pretty excited about it. It has 2-stage speed adjustment, a 1.5mm orbit diameter, but perhaps the most interesting thing would be the 3 interchangeable pads, including a triangular and rectangular version. These additional pads certainly expand the sander's capabilities, which he demoed in a few grooves, and then he eventually used it to sand under the lip of a bench. But as he points out, this is a finishing sander. So if you're looking to remove a lot of material, this isn't the sander for you. But if you're looking for a really fine finish, this might just be the perfect solution. To find out, head over to Tools and Stuff.
Now, a month ago, the torque testing crew over at TorqueTestChannel broke out their homemade light integration sphere and bought several of Amazon's ridiculous, billion lumen flashlights to see if they were being honest. They were not. But as it turns out, those were just the sideshow. The real test was this week. Because at the same time, they also purchased a bunch of high lumen name brand flashlights as well. But as Torque explains, they weren't sure that their homemade light integration sphere could handle these high lumens. So they sent off a couple to the lab so they could test their numbers, and that kind of took a few months. But now with one of those tests back, they set out to test the lumen ratings on some big lumen lights from some big brands like Olight and Nitecore. And for once, it was actually pretty nice to see some honesty in advertising. The flashlights all do a very respectable job, and the collection is eclectic to say the least. Look at that thing! It's shaped like a Coke can. That light test series over at TTC is always a ton of fun to watch, so I highly suggest you do. Well, this isn't jarring at all, and probably wasn't shot several days later because I forgot to do it on the day we shot the show. But we got a couple deals of the week. Over at Ohio Power Tool, you can currently get 33% off when you buy 3 or more select air tip accessories for your Milwaukee vacs. Those will all be organized onto a single landing page to make it easy for you to pick. Plus, if you're interested in the Stabila LAX 600G 3-plane 360-degree green beam laser with mount kit, which is only $579, which happens to run on the CAS batteries that Metabo uses, well, when you purchase this kit right now, you can actually get a free Metabo 12-volt kit. So both of those deals are over at Ohio Power Tool. We'll link to each one in the description. Now back to whatever we recorded several days ago.
Dave over at ManCaverTools continues his new tool testing series this week, this time running the battle of the brushless impacts. And this time around, the lineup is stacked with some of the biggest names in the game, including Milwaukee, Flex, DeWalt, Hilti, and even a few presumed underdogs from Craftsman and Ryobi. And while Craftsman clearly didn't belong in this group of pros, it was the Ryobi that really surprised us, throwing up very respectable numbers even in the face of these giants. But in the end, the clear winner wasn't Ryobi or even its bigger brother from TTI. I'm not going to spill the beans, but thanks to Dave's new testing format, you'll enjoy finding out for yourself, and you can watch all the impact action at ManCaverTools.
Now, last Saturday, Sarah and I held our monthly live production crew giveaway, and our lucky winner this time was Daniel.
Congrats, Daniel.
For his prize, he chose our new Flex Shelf. He got their 3-piece stack pack, which is just now coming out, $200 in accessories, and he got to choose $1,500 worth of Flex power tools.
Of course, because there's no point in using Pro Tools without Pro accessories, Daniel will also be receiving a full selection of Spyder bits and blades to use on his new Flex tools.
Now, if you'd like to be part of our production crew, simply click the Join button next to the Subscribe button for more options. Even the least expensive level qualifies you for our giveaways every month. Now, we have a few other videos we wanted to highlight this week, starting with Tim Johnson, who got his hands on the new DeWalt 20-volt DCN 623 23-gauge pin nailer. Not only is it powerful and quick, but it's insanely compact. It lacks a safety tip, but Tim makes a good case for it being built exactly as it is. You can watch over at Shoptoolreviews.
Matt over at 731 Woodworks tested the new 3M Extract 5-inch random orbital sander. This is a very high-end tool aimed at competitors like Mirka and Festool. Matt clearly likes the new offering from 3M, but he knew you'd have this question.
If you have a Festool, should you upgrade to the 3M? I don't know, maybe. I will say this. I continually reach and grab the 3M when the Festool is sitting on the bench.
For the full review, head over to 731 Woodworks.
Mark Thomas has been using the M18 blower for some time now, but this week he finally upgraded to the new M18 dual battery blower, or M36, if you don't mind pissing off a bunch of Milwaukee marketing people.
But we love them.
Fine, the M18 dual battery. Anyways, Mark compares it to the old M18 single battery version, reviews the feature, and then proceeds to dry off his dock. Works for me. You can see the full review over at MarkThomasBuilder.
And finally, Clint continues to sink deeper and deeper into the once forbidden world of Flex power tools, this time testing the Flex 1/4-inch quick eject hex impact driver against the new Milwaukee M18 Gen 4 impact. And once again, he enlists the help of evil Clint, who just might be Batman. And yes, tools are reviewed and hilarity ensues. You can find out which wins in the tool review zone. I want to thank Skill and Spyder for sponsoring this episode. Guys, we couldn't do this without you.
All right, if you can, do something kind for someone else this weekend, and we'll see you next week.